Hey everyone. Now, leadership is an absolute key to success with continuous improvement, as it is in any high-performing organization. Now, leaders really need to cultivate self-awareness, and I work with leaders at all levels of the hierarchy to really start on that. And I use two tools primarily. I use Leader Standard Work, which again is really distilling their role down, giving them clarity, giving them focus, helping them to spend their time, their energy, their effort on the right things. And again, to hold that mirror up for them to see what's really happening. The other tool I use is DISC profiling. So DISC profiling really starts to show the behavioral traits and the communication style of the individual. Now that helps them to see the congruence with the role that they're in and the fit for that role. It helps them to see themselves and again their preferences and style, and it helps them as well to see other people, their peer group and all of the people that they work with. Because as human beings, yes, we're all the same and we all have similar drivers, but we are all wired differently, and we need to understand that, because I think that often causes so much stress and strain and frustration in the workplace and really puts up a lot of blockers to working together successfully. Now, DISC is very simple, and that's why I like it. It's actually quite visual as well. But the four elements of DISC are dominance, influence, steadiness, and compliance. And I'll talk quickly to these. So D stands for dominance. So dominant people tend to want to focus on task. They really want to get the job done. That's what's important to them, that end result. They like to move with speed. They are quite, autonomous, and they are quite resilient in getting there. Sometimes they can be a bit too much. They tend to want to assert themselves and take control. Their communication style is generally going to be quite short and sharp. They just want to communicate the bare minimum of facts and data and information, and they want to receive that. They're not really interested in small talk. So you'll see that a lot. These tend to cut you off in conversation because they just can't be bothered. They can come off as quite a bit impatient. Eyes are influencers. So they are very much people. They are very gregarious. They like to engage in small talk. They'll talk a lot about themselves. They'll be the life of the party. Again, eyes will be quite creative and free thinkers. They'll be very lateral, and they can bring a lot to problem solving and those sorts of things. Sometimes the eyes can lack a bit of substance, and the eyes can sometimes talk, again, a lot about themselves. They'll be all very ego dependent. S's, S stands for steadiness. So it's kind of in the name. They are very much calm. They where I's maybe focus on the self a little bit, S's focus on the group. They are worried about the welfare and the harmony of the team. S's can be a little bit stubborn, but they will thrive on routine and repetition. And if you point them in that direction, away they'll go. They really won't like change very much. So that's something we have to really be mindful of. And C is compliance. So C's are those real careful and high attention to detail people. They're very careful planners. Now, C's will ask a lot of questions. They'll want safety and security in the detail, because that's what's important to them. Again, they'll tend to be a little bit introverted. I guess with all of that detail and planning comes a bit of perfectionism and control. And again, the C and the S can be a little bit slow to move. They can be a bit frustrating, particularly for the D's and I's who just want to get on with things. So that's a very quick overview of DISC, and there's a lot more to it. Obviously, we tend to have one or maybe two dominant traits, so there's a lot of nuance in all of that, and even a similar profile in two different people will present and manifest in different ways. But for me, it really helps people develop a clear understanding of themselves and of others, and gives a real talking point. And again, with a DISC profile, there's no good or bad. It just is what it is, and we need to cultivate that awareness to understand where those traits are working for us and perhaps are causing us some difficulty. It helps us then to relate to other people. We understand what I need and we understand what you need, and we can help to really work together and collaborate in a way that is beneficial for all. Thanks for your time.